wicked witch is dead. I'll get you, my pretty. And your little dog, too. I am a girl. A girl must walk fast, head down, never stray from the path. A girl must be married before she can raise her eyes and look ahead. But a girl must wait her turn in the family to be married. The oldest first, and then all the others. There are too many girls in my father's house. A witch will neither sink nor swim. Witches can trick men into believing that their penises have disappeared. Sometimes. A powerful witch may cause a storm at sea. A witch may be in the habit of eating infant children, against the instinct of human nature, and indeed against the nature of beasts. And concerning this, a certain man who'd found his child missing from its cradle in the night time swore that he saw a congress of women kill his child, drink its blood, and devour it. I've always wanted a child. I think I'll have one on toast. I have to say all this before attempting to reassemble the pieces of my memory. My memory which went up as smoke the day the flames engulfed me, and our wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. The twisted and gnarled tree that is modern misogyny has roots that can be traced back to the Salem Witch Trials. These trials targeted powerful women, using a witch narrative in order to justify their murders. And while many people believe these events remain in the past, it is an unfortunate truth that their outgrowth still affects us today, through a form of very evolved, but very connected, brutal sexism. This tree has been allowed to grow for far too long, and the only way we will ever be able to cut it down is by understanding exactly how it got planted in the first place. This idea is explored through the prose, The Malleus Maleficum, and Burned Alive by Suede, the poem The Witches by Elizabeth Willis, the article Persecution Witches 21st Century Style by Mitch Horonowitz, and the scripts Hocus Pocus and The Wizard of Oz. Witch with a capital B, a program. Because to echo the words of author Rick Warren, we are products of our past. But we don't have to be prisoners of it. Na 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 na. Are you a good witch? Or a bad witch? Women know no moderation in goodness or vice. When they are governed by an evil spirit, they indulge in the worst possible vices. Therefore, a wicked woman is by her nature quicker to waver in her faith, which is the root of all witchcraft. It is a curse in my village to be born a girl. The only freedom a girl can ever think about is in marriage. Leaving your father's house for your husband's and never coming back, not even if you are beaten. All I did overhear is that a man spoke to my father about me. But he was told he must wait for my other sisters to get married before I could. But ever since I heard about this man, I have been consumed with curiosity. You see, I know that he lives near me because sometimes I catch sight of him on the terrace when I hang the laundry up to dry. And he wears a suit and carries a briefcase and has a car. And the more I look at him, the more I realize I am in love with this man and his car. And I imagine many things upon this terrace. I am married to him. And like today, I watch his car go off into the distance. But he will come back, and I will bring him his tea as my mother does for my father, and I will be a woman with a husband. When a woman thinks alone, she thinks evil. I shake my rug over the edge of the terrace, and he looks up, and I know he has understood. Now it is up for him to decide whether or not he will speak to me in secret. A witch makes her world of air, then fire, then the planets, and they accomplish this by working some spell over the blood of some man or some animal, and loves blood and the pouring out of blood. There is blood coming out of her eyes, for the mind of a man may be changed by the influence of her mind, and that influence often proceeds from the eyes. There is blood coming out of her wherever. The devil does not speak to a witch. He merely moves his tongue, for he appears in front of me. Asks, "Do Do you want me to speak to your father about marriage? And you see, I could kiss his feet for that. And 3 general vices appear to have special dominion over a wicked woman, namely infidelity, ambition, and lust, for he comes closer to me. Very, very close. And I am afraid, but I am so much more afraid of losing him because he is my only hope, so I let him do what he wants. He pushes me into the grass. I was not expecting this, but that is not why I am crying. When a woman cries, she cries to deceive a man. He raises my chin and says, I love you. When anti-witch superstition explodes into violence, we can and must act. And the weeks pass, and I realize that he has taken advantage of me, and his car is not parked in front of his house anymore. And my stomach begins to get larger. Nobody wants to know who did this to me. A man who has taken a girl's virginity is not guilty. She is willing. She is the one who asked for it. There's a family meeting. My parents, my sister, and her husband Hussein. I'm not allowed to attend, so I listen behind a wall. And I hear my father say, I am sure she is pregnant. And then he says to Hussein, take care of her, but do it quickly. You see, I had heard my death sentence with my own ears. One of the ugliest aspects of these crimes is their brutality. Victims are often burned alive. The next day I act as if I had heard nothing. But I am a god. See, I am to do the washing, so I go to get water from the well at the back of the courtyard, and from time to time, I look at the gate. If Hussein comes, he will only come through here. And it should be noted that there was a defect in the formation of the first woman, since she was born of a bent rib, and through this defect she is an imperfect animal in whom there's a divining spirit dying. Let her die. Ahizadok Klang. He is there. Hussein sent over me now and says, with a smile, I am going to take care of you. At times, a witch will struggle against a force much stronger than herself. I lower my head, too ashamed to look at him. I exercise thee, so that all the illusions of wickedness and devil's deceits may depart, and flee with every unclean spirit. I suddenly feel cold liquid running over my head. I drawn by him who will come to judge both the quick and the dead, who will purge the earth of fire. Amen. Instantly I was on fire, and this is like a movie that's been sped up. Ah! I know! I am running and I know! I am screaming and I know! The flames! The smoke! The smell of burning meat! I remember almost nothing after this. We are the granddaughters of the witches that you never got to burn. My second life began in Europe, in an international airport, and you see, I was not much more than suffering human flesh on a cot. But to have survived is a miracle. It allows me to bear witness in the name of all these women who keep dying for the same reason. Because they are women. We are the granddaughters of the witches you'll never get to burn. When all the witches in your town have been set on fire, their smoke will fill your mouth. It will teach you new words, and it will tell you exactly what you've done. We are the granddaughters of the witches that you'll never get to burn. Ding dong, the witch is dead, the wicked witches.